You have never seen this face ever on the show. I'm Mercy Karuuombe, and I will be taking over. I am now the pilot for this episode. So if you're wondering where Selma is, she's here. But now she is the guest, and me that is supposed to be the guest is now the owner of the house. You get it. Thank you for making time on your busy schedule to talk to us about the lady behind the mic and the lady behind Sex Talk podcast.
Ish, this is too risky. I didn't end up with a bundle of joy. I ended up with an STI.
Okay. Is the STI that you had, ne? Was it a yeast infection or not?
It was not a yeast infection.
Welcome back yet to another episode of the Sex Talks podcast. I am so excited to be here, and I know that this face, I don't think you've ever, I don't even need to think. You've never seen this face ever on the show, so I am the one taking over, but that's a story for another day, actually later. And we are live here at the Be Free Youth Campus in Katutura in collaboration with Be Free Studios and the One Economy Foundation. I'm Mercy Karuuombe, and I will be taking over. I am now the pilot for this episode. So if you're wondering where Selma is, she's here. But now she is the guest, and me that is supposed to be the guest is now the owner of the house. You get it. Yeah. So we will be talking to Selma about everything, like how she came up with the whole podcast, because I mean the name already speaks for itself. Like I've also, even when she told me about the podcast, I used to wonder, how did the name come about? Why this kind of podcast specifically? So don't worry, she'll be here, and she's here. Not even will be, she's already here right now in studio with me to tell us more about that. Hi Selma, thank you for joining me on your podcast, but thank you for making time on your busy schedule to talk to us about the lady behind the mic and the lady behind Sex Talk podcast.
Look, guys, I don't know how I feel about, maybe I didn't think this through, because how do people act in the seat?
No.
What happened?
You just said, thank you, all protocol observed. It's a privilege and honor. But yeah.
Come to think of it, I must say, I'm quite grateful to all the guests I've had thus far, making a conclusion of season 3, because, it's not easy being here, guys. The hot seat, my iPad is gone.
It's about to die.
I don't even know the questions she's going to ask me. But either way, guys, I'm here, and I'm quite honored that you guys are here with me too, and you get to know me better. And am I a bit nervous? I'll be lying if I said I'm not.
You are? Yeah. That's a good sign. I don't know why people say being nervous is a good sign, but it's a good sign. Anyways, let me make you more nervous. Tell us about you. When somebody says, whom are you? Who is Selma? Not these things that you put in your resume, that you can work under pressure. Huh? We want to know you by heart. Who is Selma Ndasilohenda Iyambo?
Not my full government name.
Yeah.
Did you become my ID or something?
I have my ways.
Well, I think, that's quite a tricky question, because most of the time when they ask, who are you? It's always in a professional setting, and I have this whole short biography that I use. But, I'm just a little girl. I think I love to think of myself as I'm just this little girl who's passionate about telling you stories and getting to hear about these stories through this podcast. And yeah, man, I'm a what? I'm really bubbly in person. For those that have met me, they know that. And I have a lot of...
I concur, I agree. Yes, but please continue.
I'm a very bubbly person. I have a very big personality. So it's just before we recorded this episode, man, I was running with one sneaker on one feet and a boot in the other, and they were like, what the... I hope there was a recording somewhere of this whole things happening, because my colleagues were just like, I can't believe this is who the world sees as the host. I mean, now I'm a guest, but I'm just a little girl who loves to hear young people's stories, who loves to educate, and who loves to do what? Who loves to sleep. Yeah. I know adulting deprives us of sleep.
It does.
But I love to sleep. I'm the little girl. Yeah.
So you could say your hobbies are sleeping.
Yeah. I'm that girl.
Okay. Now back to the whole telling you stories. Tell us more about Sex Talks podcast. How did this come about? What inspired you to start this podcast?
Inspired would be crazy. Because, look, I went to the University of Namibia, right?
Right.
My first year was in 2020. Guess what else was happening in 2020?
The pandemic.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I went to school for like 2 weeks, if not a week. And then COVID hit.
Your kids are the ones that did not have the full first year experience.
First year, second year. What is a university experience? Even if you ask me now, I would never tell you.
When they tell you the portal, you know, there's funny things of seniors just trying to make money from the first year because they're uninformed.
I don't know what that is, so I can't
lucky.
relate. Well, maybe I'm not so lucky, but to say that COVID dropped me off a university experience, or maybe not, because then it gave me an opportunity to think out of the box.
Yeah.
But now being a COVID student meant that most of my lectures were online, and the only thing I had was like exams. Like, I don't know why they gave me online lectures, but never gave me online exams. But all my exams were like face to face. And Jiggy 2020, 2021, 2023. Third year. Yeah. Unemployment in this country, we all know how it looks. It's not looking good that side. Now, what happens when I get this degree? Where will I go?
So you sort of all this in 2023.
No,
2023 now down the line.
Online. Like 2020, I just started this degree because it was my second option.
Online.
Yeah, like it was my second option. Come to think of it, I wanted to do computer science, software engineering as my first option. And then that showed me flames into my second semester. And then, you know, everything went down in my second option. Took me, and I didn't want to scramble for space into now my first option. And then that means I was doing this course, and 2020, not really thinking about it. I was just like chilling there. And then 2021, I got an internship, but that was like something I needed to do for school, right? But now comes 2023, it was that time when it was kicking in that 2024, I need to graduate.
Right.
Now, what must I do? What will happen after? Will I be unemployed as well? And to be fair, during that time, I think in my early years of high school, I started volunteering for NAPA, which is now the Namibia Planned Parenthood Association, whereby they're similar to now the Be Free, but then they offer, like, they have mobile clinics across the country where they offer youth-friendly services to young people. They actually have physical clinics.
You volunteered?
I volunteered, like, starting from grade 9 until my grade 12, until forever. It was like one of those things that you're just part of, right? And now them having those physical clinics across and doing community outreaches with their mobile vans, they had what we call the Youth Action Movement, which was now a branch for young people, whereby you could do activities across the country and you could represent. I was representing the youth on the board for now NAPA, right? Now, doing this meant that we had community engagements, I had community outreaches, and had the opportunity to travel across the country to engage with young people. And that's where my passion for volunteering came in. And that's how I got to know about sexual reproductive health and rights. So I had that background. But in those whole years of engaging now that was like my grade 9, 10, 11, 12, like 4 years, and then first year into varsity. It's a thing of I've gotten to see how young people shy away from having conversation around sexual health. Even when they come to the clinic, HIV testing, asking for contraception is something that was very uncomfortable for them. Right. So now with the whole situation of unemployment, I'm like, unemployment, what can I offer out there that could possibly keep me busy? Because at the time, keep me busy and make me money. And that's how the whole idea of, I know about sexual health. I did media studies. A podcast isn't a thing here. I mean, it's something that I knew of, but not exactly in Namibia. So I thought, why not start this? But that was just at the back of my head until I came across a project called Upshift, which was run by Pay and UNICEF, where they're giving social innovators startup funding. So they're like looking for young people that are solving solutions, solving problems in their communities. I applied for it, and now I had an idea, potential for funding, and I said, say no more. So I went into an incubation program with them for like almost half a year, to a year, and they mentored me. They gave me an opportunity to refine the idea, had several pitch competitions. And I matched as a second runner-up for this competition, got like 20,000 Namibian dollars, and it's like, there we go. Then why the sex talks as a name?
Yes.
I think my friends played a role in it being sex talks, but I gave them like a bunch of options. One was like the sexual health conversation. And then they were all like, if you're going to speak to young people, this is so boring. And you guys know me half also. And so I said those, but she was also in it. She's like, these names aren't giving. I need better options. And we kept thinking, we were like, sex talks podcast.
Yeah.
And then we're like, but how am I going to talk about sex? I don't know how I've been doing it.
To be honest, I hear you. Because when people hear about sex talks, definitely the title sells it. You'll be like,
I want to hear this. But to be honest, sex talks is sex talks. But like the whole idea of young people not being comfortable with conversations and sex talks, you saying it is already one step closer to being comfortable and seeking the services and hearing the stories and being able to relate. So I think it is serving its purpose. And I think being grateful to friends, being like the Halfos, the Ishmaels, and everyone else that I can't really mention because the list is going to be endless. As one of those situations where they were just like, you know what, let's refine this. And I'm glad. If I could go back, would I change the name? Nah, we good.
Yeah.
We're cruising.
We're cruising nicely without any contradiction. Okay. Well, so let's talk now the real talk. What was your experience like learning about SRHR growing up?
How was my experience? Dude, I started volunteering like when I was really
I was like grade 9. Like
I feel
like before that.
Before that, what was that? Before that, what was that?
I remember in grade 5 or grade 6, that's when I think we were introduced to the whole sexual reproductive situation in school.
Look, I don't know if I was ignorant, but I also but my Future My Choice was in one of those programs that I found also. Very young. So, like, look at me, man. How old do I look? But, like, I think my first experience was getting my menstrual cycle? What is it called? Menstruation. That thing that we all have every month that we don't like. And most of us don't like. I'm speaking for myself and my other members of society that don't like it. But like that and disclosing to my parents, kucha, man, I think I'm a woman, whatever they say. Because I'm just a girl. But like, I got my menstrual, like going to the shop and buying pads. Black plastic, my friend. Or you must beg one of your older cousins, aunts to be like, when you go grocery shopping, man, include that. And there was a point when 3 months I didn't have a menstrual cycle and I kept wearing the pads because it's like
3 months. Wait, was this
like prior? Because I started my menstruation grade 6.
You started in grade 6 and then after you got your period?
Yeah, there was a 3 months break.
Whoa.
Like, I don't know what was happening.
Okay.
I never knew what was happening. I don't think I ever found out because I just kept wearing my pads because I was like, what am I going to tell my mom? I throw them away pure white, man. Like,
how old were you?
How old is somebody who's grade 7?
Grade 7, I think 12.
Yeah, like, what am I supposed to do? Tell my mom I didn't get my periods? Or my aunts rather, but like, what was I going to tell them? Yeah, sorry, I didn't have sex, but I don't have my periods. Because for me, I don't think I knew that if you didn't have sex and didn't get your period, something was wrong. Because I was like, maybe Maria, Jesus' mother.
Like, but so you knew, like, that if you don't get your period and you're sexually active, chances could be that.
But I wasn't sexually active.
But did you know that, or you just like, you're just a grade 7 kid, man.
You're
so unbothered.
But I just thought I was pregnant. How? I have no idea.
Really?
At some point, it's something that crossed my mind because I'm like, what happened to my periods? But that was like at a later stage, like into the 3rd month. Then that's when I was like, pregnancy? What is that?
Yeah.
But like before that, I really wasn't bothered. I just didn't want people to think that like, what's wrong with me for not getting my periods? But I think that was also one of those experiences that just let it slide. It's only later on when I realized that was actually wrong.
But no. So did you have any symptoms or you were just like...
Nothing. There was no symptoms. I think it was one of those menstrual challenges or pauses that you experience and you need to go to a doctor. But thank God my periods came back and we kept cruising. We're here now.
So did you seek for help or you just...
What help?
Let nature take its course.
How was I going to... Nature took its course. Thank God.
Yeah.
But like, seek what?
I don't know, man. Because you are taught that after every 28 days at least, you should be getting your period.
Did I like it? No. A good break, good riddance. And how was I gonna seek help? I needed to go with an adult to the hospital.
Adult, but then again, you
Where will I
tell
find?
your
Where
mom
will I
that
find the
it's
adult to go with to the hospital?
Your aunt, your big cousin.
I could have told
something
them.
je.
I could have, but
you
I
just-
didn't. I was just like,
you
yeah.
just toughened
If
it
it had gone on for 6 months, maybe I would have, written a letter, sent a fire signal, something.
We're bad, man. Something je.
Yeah.
Okay. Since we touched on you not having your period for like 3 months, and for some reason you low-key thought maybe could be some bundle of joy nyana, even though you were not sexually active. Tell us, maybe by the time you became sexually active, right? Like, I don't know, what are some of the things that you experienced, maybe some of the myths that you hear about, and then some of the reality on the ground, and maybe any sexual related things that you have experienced when you became sexually active.
Look. Like, when somebody says you must look, it means you must check, ne? Then, like,
I'm here, give us the tea.
like, you start being sexually active and you start thinking of contraception, you start thinking of, am I going to get an implant? Like, given the fact that I already had that exposure to information, it's like, am I going to get an implant? Am I going to get the pill? Or will we just pull out and pray?
Or the
injection. But at the time, it was like starting off a relationship and you're still into that surface level. So you can't really pull out and pray because there's a lot of health risks involved. Or at least I knew that. So I was like, STI, what is this test, HIV test. So before we can indulge in any other unsafe acts.
Yeah.
So then I was like, let's just stick to condoms, man. They're not that bad. I was starting off, so saying they're not that bad would be crazy, but like I was starting off, so we started off with that as a means of contraception.
Right.
And eventually, a few years later, I was like, I know I've used pill before, but also I was very inconsistent because, man, life gets hectic. We're also in a pandemic at some point, so like keeping track of that is a bit hard. And I was inconsistent, so I was like, this is too risky. A bundle of joy, I can't afford that.
It's not make sure.
So then I was like, you know what, you're going to stick to condoms and we move forward. And then you get into a point where you're like, it's safe here. And I don't even know what made me think it was safe, but I didn't end up with a bundle of joy. I ended up with an STI. Don't look at me like that because
I'm not looking at you.
bombastic side eye, because even when I tried to tell the story once to my colleagues, they're like, as a host of sex talks, an STI, where will you find it? In studio, maybe? I was like,
Don't you? I was just a girl, okay? And it was before all this.
not even before,
But
all that.
also,
I'm just human, dude.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I'm just a girl who's human, and things happen.
Okay.
So I was like, an STI. It was crazy, not even crazy, but you know how people be like, I have a yeast infection or an STI, and we've had an episode with Kara who was speaking about vaginal odor, discharge, and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, the discharge, I looked at it and I was like, yeast infection. My girl, you're lying. You know what happened the other week? I think you coming down with an STI.
Fuck it. Sorry. Sorry. Go on. I hear you. Because I think, I'm sorry to ambush this one, because I think a lot of people still, at least people I know in my circle, except you, like, circle, and then you're out, or at least a few of them, they still think that a yeast infection is not an STI.
Funny enough, it's not.
It's not, or it is.
It's not. Yeast infection is something that, and this is what Kara is explaining. So guys, please go listen to the episode with Kara that speaks about vaginal discharge, is the fact that you don't get a yeast infection from sex. It's not a sexually transmitted disease. It depends on your environment. It's environmental factors that play into this whole situation. And that's why a lot of people rather lean more to have a yeast infection because you don't get it through sex compared to you having an STI, because then that means somehow you had unprotected sex. Check.
Rewind. The host is confused a bit. So this STI, Bosa, it's not make sure. This STI that you had, was it a yeast infection or not?
It was not a yeast infection. Because the discharge was yeast infection. This discharge was slightly like big, changed. It had different color, like greenish, yellowish.
Okay,
And the pain when you have this sensational pain. And sometimes it just randomly pops up, and I was like, dear Lord, what have I done now? Where would I go get the services that I need? How am I going to tell the people? And that shows that we are all human, because like the way people react to the story of being a whole host or sex toxin, you still have such thoughts and questions. I'm like, I'm just a girl. I'm human. Yes, I have the information. At least I could make a diagnosis of what I was going through, but still, I needed to go to a healthcare provider to see this. That medication humbled me.
But
1 + 1 is not 2.
no, it is 2. I would just like to know, like the last time you did the deed, how long did it take for you to start getting these symptoms?
Man, I think it was like a week after or so. I'm not so sure, but it's a week after when the pain and everything started coming on. I was like, dear Lord.
Okay, aside from the pains down there and the discharge and all that, did you feel any other?
Nah, I was good. Physically, what you people could see, I was good. But physically inside the clothes, life was hard, man.
Hectic. So from there, you got this symptoms. You went to a doctor.
Me, I was like, this pain, I can't deal with. I'm just a girl. So I decided, kucha, Mina, I went to the healthcare provider. This is what I'm facing. Then they give me this tablets. They were pink. I don't ever want to see them.
Damn.
Antibiotics handled me.
But before they gave you the tablets,
they asked, and I even took a picture of pendy liners, and I took the picture and was like, this is what I'm seeing, and
this is what it looks like.
Given my exposure, I think I know what's going on here, but you can make the final confirmation. So and they gave me that, and I was like, at least they didn't give me the injection, because I've had conversations with friends, and they're like, bruh, I just came back from an antibiotic injection because of STIs, and man.
But what was your reaction when the doctor confirmed that, yep, it is what you've been thinking?
I think I was mentally prepared already. It's like, my girl, you know what you did. Let's be honest. But I was mad because I'm like, trust the needle one time.
And you got this medication, you took them. How long did it take for the whole thing to die out?
I took those meds, was it 4 days or 5 days? Man.
Antibiotics.
Those antibiotics humbled me, man.
Yeah, they do have a thing of weekend people.
For people that know me, I already struggled to eat. And those medications required me to eat. And even after eating, I was down bad, bro. Did I tell my family about it? No, niggas.
What about him?
Look, I asked him, my boy, what are we even up to? Like, tell me the truth. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, I'm a faithful man. I said, okay, say no more.
Dude.
But to be fair, actually, at this other part, I asked him, because the pH changes, and I was like, I'm seeing a lot of changes in my pH. Are you busy somewhere? The guy said, no. Now I'm like, pH, STI. Should have known. The first red flag should have been run, my sister.
Mara, why is it that, this is probably maybe I watch a lot of movies. It's always the girl that is diagnosed with this thing. It's like you got it from this guy. I'm not saying that it's always guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's always the girl that gets to find out that, dude, you have chlamydia, or you have this, you have an STI. But then, so the symptoms don't show on guys, or they hardly show, or
it takes much longer for them to show. And I think, if I can remember, in one of the conversations that we've had with Dr. Mbola, it was one of the contributing factors to infertility, because then compared to women, when you show the signs earlier and we're able to get the assistance we need, men take much longer for them to see, unless you tell them and they need to go get tested. and then start with medication. So it's like one of those, when the girl finds out, you either tell your partner and your partner takes medication, so at least both of you are on treatment and you don't get a reinfection. And that's one of the lectures I got from another nurse and telling me all that. And I was like, ish, I'm gonna sit down with this man and tell him, man, good job, my boy. We got problems. Oh, ish. I really don't know what he did after, because after we had the conversation, he was still in denial of, no, I'm not busy anywhere. I'm like, okay, you're not busy anywhere else. All I'm saying is, you gotta get the help you need.
X. And did you guys continue with the relationship?
Whoa. Being in denial, telling you to seek medical attention.
Yeah.
You don't want, Mina, those antibiotics showed me flames. Like, nani?
So that was like, that's it.
Love and light. I wish you all the best. We move, man. Like, I'm not gonna do that to myself anymore. I've suffered enough.
But now, like, this whole diagnosis and what you went through, how has it impacted the way you view sexuality or sex and all that it entails?
Always be safe. I think that's the one precaution that I've learned to take. Bro, gonna have unprotected sex with someone. Run a full checkup, my friend. STI, HIV testing, Alice. You gotta be sure, but also the time frame between the tests also something that plays a role, because now 3 months before window period, and I know we've had this conversation with Alina as part of those conversations as one of the guests here, whereby they speak about the window period between when you contract something versus when it shows like HIV.
Right.
So it's not just the once-off test, because what if they do the test today and they were busy yesterday? Not they as in man, but both parties. So you gotta take now and then 3 months after, and just to be safe, another 3 months after, so that you're at least very certain that those results are very accurate and you're safe. But also, why are you having unprotected sex?
Colleagues, she asked you a question.
I thought you were the host.
Unprotected sex is the question. Because,
and I think that's also one of the questions, and now being able to know the dynamics of condoms protect you from both HIV and STIs, but the injection, the implant, and everything else is only protects you from now pregnancy, right? Now it's also that dynamic of maybe why having sex. Unprotected sex should not be the question, but at least take the necessary precautions to protect yourself, because know that other contraceptions only protect you from pregnancy, but not STIs, not HIV. So you need to take the precautions before in terms of getting tested and knowing who you're sleeping with and trusting your partner and building that dynamic for yourself. That's also one of the things that I've learned and being cautious of, in just, talking to those in your cycle and everyone you know, in terms of cautioning them to just be responsible, protect themselves, because those antibiotics aren't the only thing. You could also end up with HIV. And also then it was a situation, I need to get an HIV test now, another one after 3 months, because what if, man? What if?
Okay. And I know that you said the pain was unbearable. Unbearable. Oh, it's unbearable, but I'm like, I prefer unbearable. Like, it was so much, and the discomfort to a point where you had to go to the doctor. But like the first 2 days, maybe, you felt that discomfort.
Not the first 2 days, it was the first day, and I said
the first day, and then you just up and then
I knew
feel funny, like maybe, what if people say, like, maybe that's the shame around it, or...
I mean, I say welcome to Sex Talks podcast almost every Wednesday.
This was before all this.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
No comment for the media. No comment for the media.
But given the fact that I say welcome to Sex Talks podcast, and the fact that I've been exposed to NAPA and working with a lot of other young people, I knew what seeking help looked like and what it could do for one. So I was just like, who will judge me? And also maybe it's the fact that I was exposed to the youth-friendly clinics that I could go to, like the NAPA at the time, where I knew the nurses, they were young people, they were very chilled about it. And funny enough, we laughed about it. Like, I was getting treatment and some therapy through some dark, not dark, but also like some sense of humor that kept us going. So I think that also made the process slightly much bearable and easier to say, kucha, I can go back and say the antibiotics are not, working, or I could easily pack up on the first day and say, kucha, Owens, it's not looking good here by me. And that's why it's important for people to know within their surroundings as to where can you go to seek help. That's very important, because I didn't look around to say, now where do I go to seek help? I already knew where to go, who to speak to, and that makes it easier.
Now, your experience, I mean, since grade 9, 19 something,
Whoa,
I'm kidding. Okay, since you're in grade 9, you have been volunteering, working in this field, right? I bet you have come. The word is there. Like not really. No, not like that. But like you have seen or you have spoken and you have met people who still have this. Is it a stigma, but some sort of shame,
stereotypes,
and like maybe you can say that this person is not comfortable. You think, okay, I'm not comfortable, or maybe I have something like an STI, but I'm not sure. But I'm scared or I'm shy to approach a health or a medical expert and all that. Do you think that that's a thing? Like, is it common, at least among women, when it comes to seeking help for STIs?
It's common amongst both genders, and it's just not STI. It also comes to HIV testing. It comes to coming to a clinic or anywhere else and being able to pick up a condom, because you have a community outreach, and somebody would walk around like they're going to the shop, walk around, go back, walk around, and then they'll be there, try to have a conversation and try to perform a table and just not really have that confidence to say that, can I have some condoms? Because now they're like, what are they going to say that I'm having sex? At least, like, I couldn't be bothered that you're having sex. I'm just very proud that you're having protected sex and you're thinking about your health. And even it's similar to STIs, the testing, and young women not even young women, but all women being able to go to a clinic and say, I want an IUD, I want an implant. It takes a lot of courage because of the perspective that society has. It also depends on service providers, because now you go to somebody and you tell them about the choice you want to make, and you ask them for information about, this is what I would like as a person, and they want to give you a lecture of why having sex. Like, don't ask me why I'm having sex. Yes, I asked you before, and that was not the context, but like, yes, why are you asking somebody if why they're having sex when they're trying to protect themselves? Like, give them the services and the information they need, because at least now they're going out there with information of how to protect themselves. They're considering condoms, they're considering contraception, and that shows you how responsible they are as people. So yes, that stigma still exists in our society, the myths around what contraception can do to you, and I'm glad that this is also some of the context that we're able to address throughout this season, as being able to tell you what is infertility, because now you have that myth of contraception causes infertility, but that is not true. So it's all about information. It's all about empowering people with the necessary information for them to be able to make those informed choices, and equipping them with that information of, if I find myself with symptoms of yeast or STI infections, B-Free is available, Napa is available. So them having that liberty of choosing where to go is very important in addressing this. And just saying Sex Talks podcast, I mean, you at least said it right, and you're not really thinking of, me, Mercy, say Sex Talks. What would my parents say?
I'm shameless, I'm sorry. And it's not even about shame, it's just, it's normal. It's normal, but then again, it's not the same for everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, now, I guess that's just one of the many stories, right? Okay, so what have been some of the most powerful or surprising reactions to your stories? Be it this one, be it some also other sexual or sex-related stories. Like, what were the reactions? Were they like, Jajarech? Were they like, oh? Were they like...
I wish the people listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts could see your favorite reactions, because, wow. We make memes. Like, Sex Talks memes.
Don't
stickers.
do that. Don't do
Asking
that.
for consent.
Oh, no, I do not consent these.
Well, now, I think the most surprising is you as the host of Sex Talks goes through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, guys, we're all human.
Yeah.
And I think that's where even age consideration of as a young person as young as 18 seeking services, and you're like, you're having sex. Like, at what age is somebody supposed to start having sex? I think that's also some of the reactions. And another one would be, Ish. So you go out every day here and you come here to teach your kids about sex.
Yeah.
So every day you teach people about sex. Like every day, no, but some days it's not even about sex, it's sexual health. Sex is just the name of the podcast. And then the other one was, oh yes, people in my DMs, kucha, ish, I want to have some rounds. I was like, what on earth? Like it happened to me like 4 times, and I'm not lying. May have can be my witness. I sent her screenshots before. I was like,
You?
I was just like, from a podcast.
Did you even respond?
Like, the fact that my number was at some point out there on the podcast page, and like, I was like, I need some rounds. I'm like, Ish. From me? Who are you? Like, I think my first encounter was really traumatizing because I was like, you want what? From me? I speak about sexual health. Yes, I have a podcast called Sex Talks. But like, rounds. Sorry, you have the wrong number. I think that's the most surprising one about, yes, I want some rounds from you, man. I'm just like, I just host a podcast. That's all I do. But like, yeah, that has to be my highlight of this whole conversation. And being the founder and the host. I should not host anymore. Like, there's a new sheriff in town. But like,
yeah, you're just a temporary guest.
You
check.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
That must have been something.
Ish.
That must have been.
Okay, maybe I should have asked them how much they're gonna give me. Jokes.
You're not funny. You're not funny. Okay, and was there maybe ever a moment where you regretted opening up, and how did you deal with that? I mean, you are openly telling us these things. Like, I know you have shared this before, of course, because it happened, but like, is there a moment where maybe you regretted? Or you felt regret? Opening
up about those podcasts, opening up about life in general.
Your experiences.
Look, for somebody who believes in sharing stories and using them as a means to inspire and allow young people to actually learn from experiences, there's never a point. And this is why I'm very open with sharing my experiences, because I believe that stories have the ability to shape them, the ability to allow people to learn. And that's why I'm just like, you know what? I don't mind sharing. It has happened. Where's the lie? It happens to everyone else. And if my story can help another person open up, if my story can help another person know that it's normal and can be able to inspire them to seek the necessary assistance and the services that they may need, then let it be it. I have nothing to hide.
You'll make a good politician.
My favorite part. Can't believe I'm in the hot.
That's a whip. That's not fire. But anyways, the first question is, the biggest misconception people have about you.
That hosting sex talks means people can call me for rounds and I teach people about sex, which is not the case. It's sexual health. Oh yeah, somebody actually asked me, Kucha, do I get to know about different positions? I said, whoa. Stop the bus. Please.
Where are we going?
Look
into the camera and tell them. No, make sure, because to be honest, I know I'm one of those guys also.
You thought I'd do what?
You tell us about rounds, how to spice things up in a bed. I'm just saying.
That is not the purpose of this podcast and will never be the purpose of this podcast. We are here to educate young people. We are here to share the experiences with the hope that it can shape another person's experience, perspective, and inspire them to go look for the necessary services. What's for the rounds? Never forever.
I am Selma Ndasilohenda Iyambo, and I approve this message. Moving on to the second question is, how do you hype yourself up before recording an episode? Like, this I want to know, because job is job, but sometimes you just are not in the mood for that day. So how do you hype yourself up?
My production team.
Oh.
Esh, man. I don't know what they go through, but esh. I have a team, yes, in my head. It's a full team. But like, some days we take more than 3 sets, and you're like from the top again, and it's just having a bad day, and you tell yourself that job is job, and you remember why you started in the first place. But also, I think the one thing that is people don't think happens is there are a lot of rehearsals behind every episode. I just don't get it right on the first go, and I'm human. And not yesterday, but yes, there was a day I tweeted about Aish Owens. Some days I have that script while I prepare dinner. Yeah, job is job, must get it right. So yes, I have that script. I do rehearsals and I try to get it right. Not in one go, not in the second go some days, but some days are definitely better than others. But I try to, or I've learned to give myself grace. I must be very honest about it. There are times when I was just like very annoyed at myself and like, bro, why are you not getting the name right? Why aren't you getting the introduction right? What's wrong with you? And as years go by and the more episodes I host, I actually realize that some grace would really do, and that helps.
Okay. So, what was scarier? I know you shared your STI story, and then starting sex talks. Which one was scarier?
Definitely my STI experience, because damn, job is job. Storytelling, I love. So like, there's no way. But starting the podcast was definitely scarier, because I've had moments of sexy, toxicity, podcast. What is that? Wow, how will society perceive it? You know, also in between there, when there was that misconception of you teach young people about sex, and now reconsidering of, am I sure this is what I want to be? The allegations I want to be beating every day and trying to clear it out there. Or maybe I could have just kept my journalism job and had fun at some point and just did this whole podcasting thing. But I think hearing testimonies and getting to see the impact it has, I think that also is one thing that also keeps me going and hypes me up before each episode. But definitely starting this podcast was more scarier compared to sharing my STI experience, because it happened.
Yeah.
It might happen to you too. Sharing my STI experience is nothing. I was like, I can't wait. I actually can't believe. I was actually hoping for podcast exchange, like type of situation, but not so many podcasts around here. So like the exchange sounded like a perfect idea and a perfect platform for me to actually share my story and just not hear other people's stories and interrogate their stories. But this was definitely one of those things that I couldn't wait for, and I can't believe we closed off season 3.
That's so nice.
Another season in the bag.
Big time.
Yeah.
We got this.
Can't wait for more.
We got this.
We don't get too comfortable in my seat.
This is a coup d'etat. It's a hostile takeover. Okay.
I'm glad there's evidence.
Ooh. I was not supposed to talk. And then the other question is, one word for your journey. English. One word for your journey as a host so far. Just one word.
Eish, man. One. Roller coaster. Yeah. You see? Yeah, no.
What you did there.
That's
just.
Yeah, no.
But we keep moving.
You see those showgrounds one? That's just been this journey. Definitely had days where I was like, Ish, what was I thinking, man? But it's been a roller coaster. And there are days when you're like, oh, can't believe I've made it this far, and I can't believe I've had this impact, and I can't believe that I've been able to change somebody's life. And I can't believe the name that was once an idea at the back of my head now has wall banners, pull-up banners. There's traveled across continents. Ish. Yeah, man.
If you weren't doing sex talks, what would you be doing?
Ish. I really have no idea, man. Probably
with a media degree.
With a media degree. Sure. Maybe a PR somewhere. A journalist in some newsroom. Or maybe even left this country. I have no idea. But maybe, maybe I would have left the country because now I have this.
Yeah.
You know how you I skipped teenage pregnancy?
Yeah.
I skipped teenage pregnancy. For that. Now it's a whole baby. It keeps growing, but it's a whole baby I can't just pack up and be like, okay, amigos, adios. But I gotta think about the baby.
3 years.
Yeah.
Because of
Can't
3
believe it.
seasons.
Yeah, it is 3 seasons and 3 years. I see what you did there. Really?
Yeah, that's why we did meet. Yeah, the math is on point. Most.
Funny enough, it is on point in this occasion, but I can't trust on other occasions.
Okay, cool.
But no comment.
Okay. And then the last one is, what gives you the ick in SRHR conversations?
Sure. What gives me the ick in SRHR conversations? The power that stories hold in shaping conversations and perspectives of people. If I look back to when I started Sex Talks off, it was a conversation around teaching young people how to have sex, jiggy. Now you have even parents and community leaders telling their young people, kucha, go listen to Sex Talks, you can get the insights you need, the information you need, and service referrals and such. And I'm like, so change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And I think being able to see the difference it has made and being excited about what the future holds is one of those things that just give me the ache in terms of holding the conversation and allowing storytelling to shape perspectives and conversations and actually show people that it's one thing to think about this, but the reality is this. I mean, look at the stats, look at everything else that is presented before us, yet we still have those that think that having such conversations is a taboo to them. It should never happen. It's very uncomfortable. Yes, it's very uncomfortable, but just because something is uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't continue happening. Because studying this podcast was uncomfortable, but look where we are.
You are tough, Shem. You are tough.
She said I'm tough.
Tough with a TAFF. Tough. Anyway, Selma, thank you so much for being. I'm the host, so you are my hostess.
I don't know what that is. I'm always in that seat, so I can't relate.
Thank goodness, Selma. Thank you so much for making time to join me on this your podcast of Sex Talks podcast. What you shared, very interesting. Some of us, when I say some of us, even me, I don't think I have that much courage to share my stories on such a huge platform. I really like that. Or maybe it's just something that comes with a job, like you learn on a job, but very commendable. Love it. It was great talking to you. And also just getting a good, I can't say a glimpse because you gave us more than a glimpse. Having a whole blueprint. Your English blueprint to how Sex Talks came about. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Either way, guys, I'm done being the guest. How was my experience? All I'm saying is, to my guests, I thank you. Because ain't no way you all have been in this seat and you gave me nothing but the best. Just the day I was like, this is what I put them through. Yeah, no, you all are amazing. Thank you for making this season yet another amazing episode. Oh, sorry, man. It's a season. I keep forgetting. I'm not used to this, closing off yet another season. But thank you for being here. This season has been nothing short of transformative, not just for our listeners, but for me too. I got to share my experience, but above all, I got to have amazing guests that allowed me to learn, unlearn, and also ask them very difficult questions that put them in uncomfortable positions, yet you still chose to stay and you still chose to share elements of your life. And about opening up about my STI experience, I can say it wasn't easy as well. But it's part of my truth, and I hope it gives somebody else the courage to own their truth too. It gives somebody the courage to seek assistance, to seek help, and to also be able to use their story to give somebody else a voice. To every young person who tuned onto Sex Talks podcast, send us a DM, share our episodes with somebody else, sat there in silence listening to us, gave recommendations of guests, or even just said Sex Talks podcast in every other room so that other young people can listen to us. Thank you so much for being here. This podcast exists because of people like you. And remember that you're not alone. Your story matters. And as we close off season 3, I want to leave you with this. Healing is messy, Growth is very uncomfortable, but talking about it, that's where the power lives. And with that being said, please do stay safe, stay curious, and remember that Sex Talks podcast will always be a judgment-free zone for you, for me, and for everybody else across the globe. And what's gonna come for season 4? Ish, man, I was in a hot seat for too long, so you all gotta stay tuned, and you will find out very soon. And with that being said, ish, I promise to not say amigos adios the way I said it in every other episode, but it's hard, especially given how much I've been in the hot seat today. But stay tuned for season 4. And with that being said, amigos adios. And I promise, I'll do better in season 4. But we will still be broadcasting all the way from the Be Free Youth Campus at the Multipurpose Youth Center in Katutura in Budal Street in collaboration with the Be Free Studios under the One Economy Foundation. Should you seek medical assistance, psychosocial support, or just a youth-friendly space to chill as a young person aged 30 to 35 in Namibia, please do come to the Be Free Youth Campus. We love to see and hear from you. And we are Be Free Namibia on our various social media platforms. So send us a DM and we are right here for